Okay, let's take a look at how to create part number 9, the protractor scale. This is what it looks like when you're all done with it. Okay, so I'm going to close that one down. I start out with a sketch. Sketch a rectangle. You can see 6.192 by 0.25. That's the overall size. And then I want to extrude it out. Okay, I've already done this, so I'm just going to unsuppress these things. And then I do a fillet on the ends. And if you choose right here full round and you pick the 3 sides, then it would do it all in one step. It'd be nice and easy and quick for you. Okay, all right, and then I put my concentric holes in. That's pretty easy. You know how to do those. Okay. Back up here to the extrusion. That thickness is 0.032. Okay, it's a very thin piece of metal, but it's 0.032 thick on the. All right, now for the index scale. I will. I come in here. I did a sketch on the front surface. A rectangle, 0.08 by 0.062. Now the 0.08 is not given to you in the textbook. I kind of played with it a little bit. That comes out to be a pretty good size. But I sketched this rectangle, constrain it on the bottom edge, and then constrain it to the center axis, my origin, okay? So that it's centered up. You can do that with dimensions or with constraints, either way. And then I extrude that. Now it picks up the whole pattern here. But I extruded that to a depth of 0.01. Okay. A depth of 0.01. And then I did a rectangular pattern. Okay, you know how to do these. All right, I picked the original object. Now I need 181 of these notches, and I chose my option here. Normal is spacing, but I chose distance, and my distance for the indexes is 5.504 inches. So that's what I put in, and I make it mid-plane, meaning it'll pattern in both ways. Okay. All right, that's all good there. So you click OK. Now that got short index marks all the way down. Now I want to come in and I do another sketch, create another sketch on that plane, and the difference in the 2 index marks, the short ones being 0.062, the long ones 0.093, the difference is 0.031. And so I sketch that and constrain the bottom edges there, and then extrude that also. Okay, now in my rectangular pattern, I've got 37 units for the same distance. And when you go to pick your feature, all you're going to be able to pick is that top edge of the rectangle, of the cutout. All right, but you do that, and then that should line those up. Now, to double check yourself, you want to go to the very end and make sure that it's nice and smooth. Okay. All right, so that's pretty easy there. You got that going. Now the text, this one's a little bit more tricky. Excuse me. Let me get into the sketch here. All right. What I did here is I put a construction line across the top edge of the index marks. Okay. And I did this, then I did the text, and then I came back and I edited that construction line, but I drug it out a little longer down both sides. So you can do that before or after you put the text in. It's kind of up to you. But you can just kind of visually see it's maybe 3 index marks longer on each end. Did that on both ends. Okay. Now the text is a little bit different. What I did is I chose the geometry text. And if you come up here and hit the pull down next to your text command, one of the options is geometry text. I did an offset of 0.03. My font is actually Arial. Okay. Size 0.109, that's in the textbook. And you want to click this box right here, fit text. And that's going to fit your text within the length of that construction line. Let me back up just a minute. When you first activate the geometry text command, it's going to ask you to select your geometry, and you're going to select that construction line that you drew. Okay. And then I put in my text here, 90 space 80 space 70 space, so on down to 10, and then I put 2 spaces between the 0, 2 spaces between the 0 and the 10, and then finished it out. Okay. And then you can look at your sketch and just kind of check the index marks, okay, to make sure that your digits are lining up relatively close, okay. When you get out here to the end, you want to look at it. It may be a little off. You can always adjust the length of this construction line, and then that will update. You may have to go back into the text to update that. All right. And in the emboss command, all right, if you don't see the emboss command, it's on the pull down right here in the create menu. Choose your profile will be the text in the sketch. You want to go engrave from face, meaning it'll cut in. May have to change the direction and go a depth of 0.01. All right, so that gets all of your engraving there. Now, we've been doing this in a default material type, and that's not what we want. Just like before, to make it all black, takes a couple of steps here. So I make my default material black, okay? Then I want to come in and choose the surface and make it polished aluminum. Now you see I'll have to go in and pick each of the insides of my numerals. Also, and of course the inside of the hole, the edges here. I'm going to pause the video and then get that and then catch back up with you.